Hello and welcome to 10.5. Here are the answers for 10.4 day 2. Okay, if you have any questions on that, please let me know. We're going to be working on a new process today. It's called completing the square. So it's a new method for solving quadratic equations. And I'm going to first give you the when to use this. When to use completing the square? I would use it when a equals 1 and b is even. And it's not easily factorable. So that's what I'd use it. I'm going to show you guys the process of doing this, and well, yeah, we'll see how it goes, I guess. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to complete the square before we get into solving. So we've seen things that look like this. X squared plus 6x plus 9. This factored into x plus 3 times x plus 3, or x plus 3 squared. This is a perfect square. So what we're going to do today is we're going to say, let's say we have x squared plus 6x. We're going to say, what is the number that would go there to complete the square? For example, if it was x squared plus, say, 8x, that'd be 16. That would be the number that would complete the square. And so that's what we're going to learn how to do. So let's practice that. So it says, to complete the square, add the square of half the coefficient of the bx term. Okay, that's a lot. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your b value. Okay, so half of b is 4. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to square that. Okay, so then 4 squared equals 16. And then that's going to be your c value, okay? So this is the trinomial here. Okay, so the magic number is what I call this, is 16. And then this is going to factor into x plus 4 times x plus 4, or x plus 4 squared. I just got a lot of stuff going on here. It says now write your answer as the square of a binomial. So as I said, x plus 4 times x plus 4, or x plus 4 squared. So we're just going to practice this process here with a few things. And if you need to use the box to kind of fill this out to get a visual for it, you have x squared, you have negative 6. And then so that shows you your magic number is 36. The other way, like I said, you can take half of c, or half of b, which is negative 6, and then you can square that and get 36. So a couple different ways of doing it. You can use the box, you can use this little formula kind of that I showed. So we'd get 36 there, and then this would be x minus 6, as you can see from the box over here, which is x minus 6 squared. And there's a reason why we're learning how to do this, because we're basically going to combine today with 10.4, and we're going to use square roots. So let's see. All right, let's do an odd number. So all even numbers. So here we do 3 over 2, and then we'd square that, and we get 9 over 4. So 9 divided by 4 is what I'm looking for. And you can verify that. So if I have 3, this is, yeah, the fraction ones are weird. Because you 3 halves x, you 3 halves x. Together, those add to 3x. And then here you have 3 halves times 3 halves, which is 9/4. So, and as you can see here, we have x plus 3 halves, x plus 3 halves squared. So this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. Notice how b is odd here? This process is awful if b is odd. It works much better PSE, and we're going to learn a new method in 10.6 that we will use if B is odd. But for the time being, we can do this, but sometimes it's about figuring out the best method. So solving equations. To solve the equation, if we're going to use this completing the square process, any number that, like the C value, we're going to move it to the other side. So we want it to be AX, we want it to be X squared plus BX. So any number we're going to move to the other side if it's not there. So any constant term, put it on the other side, which seems odd because we haven't done that before. So we're going to add our magic number here. We're going to take half of 16, and that's 8, negative 8, and then we're going to square that and get 64. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 64 on both sides of the equation. Now what that allows me to do is rewrite x minus 16 plus 64 into x minus 8 squared. And then 64 plus negative 15 is 49. Now basically what we're going to do is we're going to square root both sides like we did in 10.4. So that gives us x minus 8 equals 7, x minus 8 equals negative 7, and x equals 15, and x equals 1. Those would be your two solutions. So basically we're doing 10.4 with one additional step. We're transforming the equation so we can use square rooting. So here, what I noticed is a couple things. One, there's a 2 here. 2, there's a negative 8 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add the 8 to the other side by doing a plus 8. I'm going to get rid of any constant term, move that to the other side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 2 so that the value in front of the x squared is equal to 1. It has to be x squared plus bx equals some constant term. Now I'm going to add my magic number. Half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So we're going to add 25 to both sides. Okay, so, and then that's going to give me 29 on the right-hand side. On the left, I'm going to put that into factored form, x plus 5 squared. And from here, we can just do what we did yesterday, square root both sides, and get both of our answers. So x equals 0.39, x equals negative 10.39. And that is the process of completing the square. So, let's see once. I got a lot of different problems here. I'll just walk you guys through one more here. Let's see what else. Yeah, I'll do one more here. We're going to get rid of this 8. And I'm going to add my magic number to both sides. So half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. Add 25 on both sides. Rewrite this in factored form. X plus 5 squared equals 17. And from there, we can square root and then go about our business. Make sure you do x plus 5 equals negative whatever the square root of 17 is. And then x plus 5 equals positive whatever the square root of 17 is. It's a little over 4. So all this is basically the same process. The problems just kind of look a little bit different at times, but generally you're getting rid of the C term and you're adding a number that makes it a perfect square, and then you're using 10.4. So I'll do another problem for you guys tomorrow in class. Use your assignment. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and thank you guys for tuning in.